following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Of course! Of course!
Impressive, then. You upped at Militech, and they're like the gun people.
Well, I mean, it's not going to last very long. It will eventually destroy itself.
Yes, but half the size, half the cost, with further range.
25% more power.
It will just disintegrate or explode in your hand.
Nothing so dramatic. It will eventually just stop working as the delicate components degrade. It'll also start losing power before that, so it won't be a surprise. At least not to me.
I suppose you don't intend to shoot it very much.
I don't intend to shoot it at all.
How much for the plan?
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. I think it might be 50,000 euro dollars. Because it's a super luxury item. You're thinking about it, aren't you?
We do have that.
Oh, because then you can fabricate it for one cost stage less, although I think there's special rules for super luxury.
Yeah, but you make it,
And then you sell it
and then you sell it.
to Militech. Energy weapons do exist in the Cyberpunk setting,
Yep.
I just point out, but they're just
Quite rare.
not that common. The most common one is the microwaver, which is good.
I've got one, the Zural Plas 1 Scorcher.
Yeah, it's broken.
On the floor. No, wait, that's not.
It's all broken and in a bag.
Yeah.
It would be worth spending the money to buy that, because what we could sell it for a hell of a lot more.
We just need to get the...
The problem is it would take you so long to make.
Yeah. You would need one of those auto fabs.
Yeah, which is what I need.
Also expensive.
Yeah.
I need the auto fab first.
And then that one auto fab would be busy for months.
Yeah, but the auto fab's making the auto fab for a start. So you can have two auto fabs. And then you use those two auto fabs to
Only
make...
if you have the blueprint for an auto fabricator.
Which would be even more expensive. And you do run into it's similar to the printer problem. A printer can't print all the parts to make another printer the same as it. It has to make something
This
smaller.
is future world.
This is actually the Cyberpunk setting where the fabricators are also making complicated circuit boards
Yeah.
and moving parts.
This is a
This is
future
making
world.
Lots of tiny little pieces.
Like you make all the parts, and then the tech assembles it. The fabricator fabricates all the individual bits, and then the tech goes. I'm really not sure about ever giving a player an auto fabricator because it really does just eliminate one of the costs
Yep.
of the ability, the really otherwise broken ability. But like, my opinion is that an auto fabricator would cost 50,000 euro dollars to make, because after that, it really is just a case of auto fabricator. Your first thing is build another one of you.
Yep.
For what I think would be like the next cost unit down, so like 10,000 euro dollars worth of components, and it could fail partway through because you still have to make the fabrication check because it runs off your skill.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you have two auto fabricators, which is now cutting the time that the tech needs to fabricate down to a third, because the tech is also going to fabricate.
Yeah.
Like you would still have to
There
check
you
in
go,
on
like
it.
each fabricator is making components for a third fabricator, and I'm also making components for that.
Yeah. And so eventually you need a warehouse to rent. So that's another cost, which can be raided by gangs.
Yeah.
Because
So,
fabricators
like,
are awesome.
eventually, then your tech becomes a business, and you have to incorporate as a neocorp or a local corp.
Yeah, at that point you are.
And at that point, that's your campaign, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or at least that's
To
what you
hire
can base
security,
campaigns around.
because otherwise
You
somebody
gotta
will
hire.
break in.
You
to take
could
your
you
stuff.
could hire a local gang, which means you now need to be selling enough stuff to pay them for protection. Like you hire 6th Street or NCPD for protection, or something like that.
Until you build up enough to
And
get your own corporate security.
Keeping in mind that the auto fabricators all need to pass checks, otherwise the project is scuffed, which means you need to make sure you've got a nice beefy skill.
Yeah.
You probably need to then start actually hiring other techs anyway to help oversee
Who
the
will also
auto
got
fabricators, who will also need to pass their checks. So, like, you could have your own business,
yeah.
at which point you should need to start taking levels in exec for Y, actually.
Yeah.
Like, for no reason, you just start taking ranks in business and accounting and things like that. And it's like, okay, so then you're making your stuff. Who do you sell to? A fixer who's going to want a cut.
Yeah.
Unless a member of the group is a fixer and is willing to issue their cut for the greater group. Not likely. They're going to get paid.
They might at least take a reduced cut.
They would. As a fixer player character, I would take a reduced split after a certain level of familiarity. You know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours, or I scratch your back. You keep my back unfilled with bullets. Yeah. Creator is seriously, massively broken and awesome and great. It just takes a wee while to get that to the point where it's like, I don't even have to edge run anymore. I've got a business.
You really have to play for a while, succeed, not die, not lose all your shit.
Then you sort of background that character, get another one to play on the regular who works for that character.
That's the way to do that.
And you start that character by causing industrial sabotage with your previous one, selling them out to some
Completely destroying the business.
Yeah. You rip off your own blueprints and sell them all to Arasaka. And then buy an island off the south of France.
You have to go back to your older character to
And then you get to hunt down the character you just played.
If you really do successfully, your character's name or your character's business name you've chosen becomes a regular business, becomes a producer of items that your new character in the new group might encounter in the game. That's how Malorian started. It was a player thing.
Oh shit. That's cool.
It was a tech. Just made weapons. It's a very viable option. Like some of those roll abilities, like they sneak up on you how good they are, but the text is just obvious right from the start. It's just like, oh, so what can it do? Fucking everything.
What do you want?
What do you want? I want a laser gun that can shoot a hole in the moon. That's technically possible.
Yep.
Good luck. Good luck making those rolls.
What size hole?
Char.
yes.
Anyway. So yes, you guys are left to your own devices. Pardon the pun. Eventually it is reported that the interlopers go away.
Well, that's good. Unless they are sending for more men. Calling the island for us.
All waiting in ambush going, well, they got to leave sometime. Let's set up an ambush for when they do. Like those guys, remember the sandstorm, and then we came out and it was the ambush.
That's the same guys.
Do we want to bring the same guys? Do we want to bring the bikes down, bring the gear down, and then?
Oh yeah, if they're out of potential range, let's do that. That way, if they do come back, we can
she'll hide her doorway.
Secure the nuke.
If it makes you feel any more secure, the government of Cuba is extremely hard up and quite bribable since the South Am Wars and the fourth corporate wars and, well, all its resources basically being stripped away and it being bombed out and shit on.
This should assist us in our escaping this island.
Yeah, but they could also be bribed by these guys who were hunting us.
I mean,
It's true. And then
Life
they didn't.
has a larger pocket.
He does, but he may not have a larger pocket immediately available to the Cuban government.
Life Diversified Industries International Corporation. Current total number of employees 125,000 approximately. Offices in London, Manchester, Paris, Munich, Night City, Boston, of course, Seattle, surprisingly, and others. Neat, that's informative. Current face, Gareth Blythe. Still alive.
Unfortunately so.
What's
At
that?
102?
Can't be long for this world. I suppose he's got the money.
102. That's mid. Although way above street life expectancy in Night City, which is 32.
Yes.
When was the last time he was seen in public? Do we know he's still alive?
I don't have any of that information here.
I
I can only get a little bit at a time.
Well, if he had died, don't worry. I'll
Subdivisions, Blythe Pharmaceuticals, Blythe Industries, Blythe Security Contracting, and Blythe Nano. Although apparently most of the shares for that little subdivision are no longer in BDI's hands.
Oh.
So it could be splitting off.
That's interesting.
Oh, it's
Purchased
Splinter
by
Cell.
someone, maybe?
No information on that here. No information on Mr. Aaron Blythe, Jr., except that that person exists and his name is Jr.
Yes, he was never very fond of that, so I would often ridicule him with that little...
Jr.
But if he said he's a net runner, he's probably removed most of his data. If he can.
Always was a second-rate net runner, but he always had the gear.
He beat you, didn't he?
Oh, I'm not dead yet.
Need another keyboard.
Do you want me to make you one?
We didn't take all
I can
those
make my own. I've already got a blueprint in the fabricator for it.
I thought while you're
Done.
busy.
Yeah. Lazy fabricators can do the work.
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
I
I'm
can
gonna
really
go-
build everything with my own hands.
I'm gonna go bring
the
our
only thing I
stuff
build
down.
with my own hands around here is fabricators.
I need to get one.
I'll give you a hand.
Build one.
Cool.
Invent one. Invent your own fabricator. It's rewarding and fun. I mean, realistically, it's not going to be that different from anyone else's fabricator. Or I understand there's a new kind of portable fabricator you can wear as a backpack.
Yes, I saw.
Put it over top of your cape, it makes sense.
What?
It's a Helldivers reference. Sorry, what do we call it in this setting? A Panzer Boys reference.
Fleur, would you give us a hand with the bikes? I meant physical assistance.
He hasn't spoken to me in 2 days, and now he wants my help lugging things.
I have. We've just been skipping through time a little bit. Unless I've gotten into
She's feeling neglected. You need to do something special. Spend some time with her.
You're getting relationship advice from Roger. It's beautiful.
What has my life come to?
Would you rather take it from me?
No.
Hey, I
Don't
was
take
in
it
a,
personally.
I was in a meaningful relationship with a woman until she got killed. This is her guitar. Or was her guitar.
Don't. Please don't.
Oh,
Yes.
that's why it doesn't have strings.
Yep.
I would have thought you'd really switch over to a stringed guitar because it gives better sound.
That's a matter of opinion.
That's Gibson's opinion.
Well, it depends who's playing it, done it.
Well, with the laser light receptors, you can really only get 4 different kinds of interactive ranges, where with the physical string, the possibilities are practically unlimited.
Oh, so you would think.
Those aren't my thoughts.
Yeah.
Those are the thoughts of the collective genius of Fender.
Yeah, well, they didn't know about augmenting the sound channels in order to get more out of them.
No, but Impaler did, which is why you need the additional modulo chip, which you don't have.
Wait, how do you know I don't have that? Who said I don't?
That text scanner.
Oh.
His
Well,
name is Philip.
I feel it.
What do you need?
A little modular chip. I can't make one. Well, I mean, I probably could, but I'm not gonna. It'll allow you to do that thing you're talking about. Also, it looks like there's a bunch of other tech in there that I'm not entirely sure, but it might actually be pretty dangerous. But it's also not finished, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Huh?
Brings up schematic of your guitar on the screen. You guys do know about this.
Yeah.
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 It looks like it's been triggered to release like a large sound and EMP shockwave, but it's not finished, and also that would not be very good. You'd need level dampeners. And you'd need shielding, otherwise your arm would stop working. It would affect you too.
We've got level dampeners.
We just need to provide shielding
We'll was trying
to Roger here.
We'll go get its stuff.
Yes.
What would be smarter is if you could release it in a cone, so it wouldn't affect you.
You could aim it then.
You know, this is actually more of an interesting problem than your actual problem.
Interesting enough for you to want to explore it?
Maybe.
Suppose we'll head it along
Anyway.
here. Yes, we'll go retrieve that stuff while those ne'er-do-wells aren't about.
And when I come back down with the stuff, I'm going to give her... She's probably going to mock me for this, but I'm going to give her Lizzie the Lizard Beanie Baby.
Isn't that stuff with cocaine?
Yep.
Didn't you
No,
start
that was a joke. It's
Oh,
not.
okay.
It's just the original.
Okay, then she will say, what is this?
It's... Hello, it's Lizzie the Lizard. It's a Beanie Baby. It's for you.
Bang.
Yeah, I thought you were going to mock me for that.
I'm not familiar with the kind of thing I'm seeing. This is a toy of some kind?
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
I
thank
thought
you.
maybe there was a child in there somewhere. Oh, okay.
I'm still a child.
Good. Thank you.
I couldn't resist.
Appreciate it more than that. Never mind.
Do you have a place you would prefer a nuke be placed?
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter where you put it. If it goes off, we're all fucked.
Yes. Well. Just put it up there.
Somewhere isn't going to get imploded.
That is preferable.
I swear everyone in Night City just carries around nuclear bombs like it's
Gonna
nothing.
remove the Beanie Baby.
Well, I suppose happening more than once is alarming for a single city. Let's just avoid taking it back to Night City and we shouldn't have a problem. He says, somewhat hoping that this isn't the nuke that a certain marshal was looking for at another point in time. But I don't think the timeline works for that anymore.
Oh, no, you guys didn't help with that.
Yeah, we got put on another job.
Okay. We moved everything down, I take it?
That's up to you guys.
With no enemies being triggered.
As far as you know, there aren't.
Sweet. I mean, when we finish up, we'll probably be just like any sign of them.
Huh?
The bad guys up there.
Oh, I guess I should look for that. Yeah, someone's nicked your bikes.
No, we brought them down here.
Okay then. You're not going to be able to drive them down here, you know that, right?
No, we just want to hide them.
Well, good luck with that. They'll be pretty obvious.
We mean from the people upstairs.
Oh, I knew that.
What else am I fixing?
On my end, I think my armor jack is okay. It's like missing one point. I think my spear one might be a little low. It depends on the state of yours.
I'll fix my mining canal.
If you want to upgrade any other bits or pieces. Hang on. I'm going to check the armor jacks.
I can't build anything or do anything for myself until everything else is fixed. Any armor jacks and such. And weapons.
Yeah.
Now you
See-
know Logate's
you see-
pain.
I was about to say, you see, now Stephen has fallen into the Logate trap. It's just like, oh, this is why he's so grumpy all the time. This is why I'm still in fucking
we're
day
just like,
3 starter gear.
Okay, now to work on my stuff. Door opens. Low game. My thing's broken.
You can't weld anything with such a little flame.
I do have a light armor jacket at 6 out of 11. If that was repaired, I would then mostly have a functional double set to swap out into.
But you're the second set.
Well, my current one's 10 out of 11. But once that takes some damage, then I'm down to I have no armor again.
I don't even have 2 sets.
I've shot a lot of bad guys. I also have some medium armor jack armor I'm never going to wear. I picked up at some point. And I do... You may also have it in your thing that... I called it the skin to face bodyweight suit in lieu of its actual name. I do just still have it here too.
Well, I haven't had time to work on it yet.
Yeah.
I might have to...
And that was a part. That was a part of the thing that we blew up.
Yeah.
And we weren't really keen on progressing.
Well, I might borrow that suit and look after it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send it to me and I'll look after it.
So it's literally just a bodyweight suit, and they put that right at the front. It's on 8 out of 11. Apart from that, I don't really have anything that needs worked on. Can't really do any upgrades to the weapons I currently use, because they're both exotic. And I don't want you to make the Blythe gun any better.
It hurts you on a fundamental
It does.
level.
And you'll be
I like that
putting...
you're still using it even though it's still all painted up with Blythe colours. It's like,
I-
how much is your loathing really? Your morals have slipped
You
instantly.
use
for
the
the
weapon of your enemy.
I've shot it 9 times, because one time I forgot it was rough too. I haven't actually used it that
And the
much.
thing is, it makes those sounds as well, though, doesn't it?
When you
Only
reload,
when you
it,
reload it.
plays a 30-second ad when you reload it, which is why it's sitting on 21 out of 30. I have bullets, I'm not reloading it. I think I'm going to plan out, like, I'll use it until the first reload, then I'll get too annoyed with it and, like, throw it away or something, give it to someone else. Piss on it. Or at the very least,
You know what will happen? The electricity will go up the P stream to just when Blythe gets you again.
So if it's not your base armor, then I'll repair my secondary armor before I start on anyone else's.
Roger's got his heavy back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a light armor jack that just needs 3.
So you spend your time repairing all this stuff.
Yep.
This is fun. It takes you out of action for a few hours.
Yep.
Quite a lot of hours, actually.
Yep.
Half hours for Greg and he spends some quality time
With Roger.
with his Bell Roger. Bros before hoes. No.
Yeah.
Homies over hoes. Homies over hoes. Homies over hoes. Homies over hoes. Do the homie. Do the homie. Do the homie. Do the homie. It's a 2-minute and somewhat seconds long euphemism for gay sex.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
Was it Thugalicious?
Yeah.
So, posting up and probably in the bigger workshop area out the front, not the smaller workshopy secluded bit at the back. Talk to Fleur.
Oh, okay.
Inquire. You know the nature of my work before,
Such as it is.
or was. You never, apart from telling me that you did work for Blythe, you never did say what your job was.
Bioscience overseeing technicians. Basically just taking reports, moving them up the chain.
The boring job, so to speak.
Yes.
Father took care of most of that for us, but our
fledgling branch was much smaller than any of what Blythe has these days.
Yes. Disappointed?
Not really. I mean, it would have been exciting if you were R&D on laser weapons or something. I didn't really get that tech vibe from you.
Aren't laser weapons incredibly dangerous and prone to failure?
And expensive and impractical. I think it's just something deep down in every man's heart. He yearns for lasers.
Interesting. So, the ideal man life is lasers, grilling, and money.
And women.
Ah, of course. The many women.
Yes. I can't say I was ever very good at grilling.
I imagine you've had people to do that for you.
Yes, although, of course, there was the obligatory grandfathers. You must learn how to survive in the wilderness. Oh.
Survive in the wilderness.
Yes, I didn't take those lessons very well.
Clearly. I'm sounding very judgmental.
It's fine, it is a shortcoming of my skills capability.
You are a city boy.
Yes, always was.
I find the city offers enough challenges without having to seek it out in wilderness.
Especially with the world as it is. Maybe in the days before all the corporate wars, the AI-controlled minefields, bioplagues, and the like.
Back in the frontier times of the early 80s, when men would stride across the open plains with nothing but their robo-horse and Eagle-Tech survival crossbow and a small array of tactical nuclear grenades to clear the turbo pandas or whatever was roaming around the American wilderness.
Turbo pandas, huh?
Or neo-skinks or whatever.
Whatever.
Whatever Biotechnica dreamed up back then.
It's just what I was going to say. Hyper-raptors or whatever they are.
Oh, the Pterodactyls. Yes, they're turning into a problem in Canada.
Glad I'm not
No, that's canon.
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
It's just like we made them. We unleashed them in the fucking Rockies in Canada. It's just like they're infesting it. It's a problem. It's like who could have seen that coming?
Why? Biotechnica, maybe you when you fucking make
help us,
And then you realized, oh no, they'll just get poached. We better make them even more fucking dangerous.
Help us, eh? Oh my god!
Why did you make them breed like rabbits?
The hunting paxi. Clever girl.
Canadians have become the hardest motherfuckers ever. It's not Night City. It's people who live in Canada.
I mean, they're terror raptors, not velociraptors.
A particular branch of Blythe. Diversified Industries.
Pharmaceuticals. Perhaps I should not have said.
Why?
Did you not say that that was the division that Aaron Gareth Blythe Jr. worked for? At the head of?
Yes, but you're
And
not him.
And do you not hate him?
I
And
do.
everything he touched?
In a way, yes, but I'm not exactly going to put all his employees to the sword. Maybe just a security.
Just say the executive branch.
Well, remember that.
I think this is perhaps rational.
I'll find out who exactly had a hand in my family's downfall and go from there.
You would give a lot for this information.
I would. And to be put in a position to make use of it.
It is not likely it exists anymore.
No. And even if I had Junior on his knees under my sword, I doubt he would tell me.
Tell you certainly not, as he knows it would hurt you. And he wishes to go on hurting you.
If this is one last thing to do, he would gladly die depriving me of that information.
I think he would think that you would not kill him so long as he retained it.
You'd be wrong.
Don't tell him that.
Though I don't know exactly what I will say, I know I have other words for him.
You say, you confront this man, and you say to him, my name is Edward Hargraves. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
A Princess Bride fan, then.
Huh?
Line is from a movie.
I did not know that.
See the little fingers.
I have heard it said many times, but I did not know where it is from.
It was a good movie.
It must be.
Quoted so. Maybe I will show it to you sometime. If I can still find a copy. Old world movies are hard to track down.
Surely, a man who lives in space with a solid gold jet plane at his command must be able to find anything he wants.
Especially if he takes a solid gold jet plane into space, where it's useless.
It's your fantasy, pal. What do you think of this bus rider? Somewhat confused. It is a small child.
Yes. Well, corporations meddling to make geniuses and super soldiers is nothing new. I'm more surprised by her ability to sit up somewhere like this and to remain hidden.
You think she has help?
She
I
must
suspect
have
so.
She said
I do
that
not
she...
believe a child could do all of this. No, I believe a child could do all of this. Fabricators will do most of the work, but I do not
Establish.
believe they could stay hidden. So... how do I say this? What is the word? So unused to the ways of the world.
Surely, even if she understands the grave danger inherent in the world and wishes to go on, she would still be curious as to some contact with the outside. And she did say that she had... This was the first time she had had callers who knew where she was. So she has definitely had contact with the outside.
She must to sell the fast rider technology,
And to
which would
receive...
have spread the rumor.
Yes.
Your friend, she has heard of this fast rider.
So enough of,
Therefore, it is in known name.
so enough of the tech has leaked out. And she must be getting supplies. Continue... Surely she could maybe fabricate some things to mine for material, but she still requires food and things. Unless maybe we haven't seen everything, maybe she has her own little agrodome or something.
Unlikely. Agricultural work creates emissions. Emissions which will show up.
Especially in a strange place like Cuba.
You talk about Cuba?
Talk about Cuba. Blythe managed to track us even here after leaving those devices behind.
You did not tell anyone this is where we were intending to go?
No, not until we had set off. We mentioned it to you at a point. I do not believe we told anyone else. Must be some way they're doing it. Unless we're being set up by movement.
The ship captain? Did you not tell him?
We did, but we were not there for long.
The only time we mentioned this place was on the train when I told you guys.
Not true.
No,
And then
it was before
When
the
you
train.
were buying tickets, Roger was asking around for tickets to Mondo Fine.
Right at the start.
You guys mentioned it to the cop, who was disguised as a local.
The cop, yes,
You
definitely.
mentioned it to the conductor, the ticket buyer, and you
we-
bribed someone to stop it here. In
Yeah.
this very bribable country
Sorry.
where anyone would sell information to anyone for money.
we sort of
What-
did
what I was
pre-Cuba.
meaning-
This is
Pre-
actually the least
Yeah.
difficult to unpack.
Like, I was being pre-Cuba.
Oh no, I don't think you mentioned it at all, except on the train very briefly.
That's what, cause I know because I knew we mentioned it here. We were talking about but if we had mentioned it well before.
No. I don't think you've let it slip any time out in public other than on the train.
On the train
that
when it
one
was
time.
first. Yeah.
Which was overheard, but you know that.
Yes.
Unless someone else was listening on the train when we were finally briefed as to the specifics of our task.
It is easy to understand how they could have been ahead of you in Mexico. The straight line roads, travelling by necessity from fuel stop to fuel stop.
Yes, we did have a slight diversion, and they did manage to find us there. But not impossible. It wasn't exactly a wide diversion. It's possible they had just cast their net out there as well in case we happened to go by that way.
So much money to kill one man.
Let's not forget they were after you as well.
What a severance package.
Yeah, shouldn't have worked for Blythe.
Human perception, she's doing shifty eyes.
He's not looking at her eyes.
Yeah. And that's
fair enough.
meta knowledge.
And shifty tits. No. It's like why your nipples sliding backwards and forwards. So.
Cyber nipples.
I mean, those are a thing.
Brick out? Or, oh jeez, what was it called? Bitbop.
We're going to have to come up with a way to adapt your plan. Assuming, if I wish to stay alive, that is.
We will work on it when I return to
Assuming we make it back alive.
well, of course.
I'm not just going to let someone else who is after Blythe as much as I am slip away. So maybe I'm not expendable in this plan, but I'm still involved.
Do not let yourself be consumed with revenge.
We can't promise that.
Then you are no good to me.
Don't worry, it's not the only thing I think about. Just 60% of the time.
If you let it consume you, you will be as dead as me. There's nothing to live for.
So I was just thinking 60% of the time I think of revenge every time.
I used to think just post the fall, but life started once I got my revenge. Started again. Maybe I was wrong.
If all you live for is revenge, then you are not living. And you get it, and it won't matter. And then, one day, poof, you're going to die. You've no one to love you and no one to cry. Alone by yourself in the bed of your death with the stench of regret and your last dying breath.
You should write that down, it's a good lyric.
I am not a musician.
Neither am I. I have played on the stage.
I remember.
I'm still surprised that that managed to work.
You're surprised.
I don't even have a rank. I mean,
Yeah, it's fucking annoying. Stupid god stats. Why does anyone sleep in here?
maybe the other workshop is a little more soundproof. If they didn't have the damn thermal optics or whatever they're using, then we could spend time at least in the saloon above to get away from the noise. It'll just give us away. I wonder if there are other exits to this little facility.
Probably.
Need to keep in mind.
Well. So, it's going to take many days. So, if you guys want to figure out what you're going to do for those many days, you can come next week prepared with that. Because at the end of those many days, spoiler alert, there's going to be some action.
Interesting. Jess is going to be so busy for those many days.
Well, the thing is, I've promised Roger I'd do his guitar. That was the first thing once I got my inventor.
Yeah. So does guitar.
Yeah, but I haven't had time to even touch it, which is what I would be doing. The first thing I'll 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 be doing.
Night train to Mundofina. Night train to the end. Running hard and running fast to meet my future and away from my past. Taking the gamble that cannot last. Night train to the end. Hell's ride to Mundofina. Hell's ride to the end. Sold my soul to the devil's bend. He draws me hard with a merciless hand, and all I bought is a handful of sand. Night train to the end. I'm on this ride 'cause I have no pride in myself or in men or in God. Now if you want to share in the price of my fare, then fill your mind with greed that is blind and wander in its evil fog. Night train to Mundofina. Night train to the end. running fast to beat my future and away from my past. Taking the gamble that cannot last. Night train to the end.
Miles away, in Mexico, the long and wide horizon's windswept hush is broken by a tortured scream. The young man from whom that agonized yawp issued would utter no more. He had come to his untimely end. His erstwhile companions looked on, wide eyes and closed mouths, sealed shut by short, precise lengths of tape, holding in their own cries of pain for help, any kind. They had been waylaid, neutralized, and brought down one by one. The desert sands had come alive, risen up and taken rough shape, and dealt with them as they milled about, confused and disorganized. Do not feel pity for these doomed souls, as one by one their throats are opened to the gritty Mexican air. Do not empathize with them as they watch their friends bleed their lifeblood into the cracked ground one by one. For they too are killers, hired predators on the hunt. They have met the apex predator and have discovered, too late, that they measured up poorly. The sand-colored cloak of the apex predator streamed in rags with the wind, snapping and rippling as the sharp gusts took it, occasionally parting to reveal blackness within, a shadow cloaked in sandy cloth. It has what it wants, information. It methodically tidies up behind it, the bodies of the former hunters wrapped and stowed on their own vehicle, an old tan-colored Humvee. The fuel cap is opened and drained of an amount of the vehicle's precious lifeblood. The remains are spread carefully around the bodies, their documents and weapons. Finally, a light flickers in the wind. The greedy wind cannot snuff it. The darkness is lit garish red by the flare. Smoke streams along with the ragged cloak. Soon, the flare and the fuel-soaked Humvee become one, and fire bursts to life, dancing and crackling in the night, a brief life consuming the dead. The silent killer collects its weapons and proceeds south, drawn inexorably to its prey.